Alright, you lot, welcome back. I'll be honest, I didn't see this coming. Largely because I feel like every time there's been some sort of new guard-adjacent character, especially commissars, we've had some new ones. There's been some new ones that have shown up, but we haven't had a very particular character yet, until now. Because, finally, because it feels like it should have happened a long time ago, we have Ciaphas CAIN. Commissar CAIN, an actual model for the lad himself. I mean, it's not just me, is it? I feel like this should have happened before, and I don't think it has. A cursory Google suggests that I haven't missed anything, but it's finally happening now. He is making the step out of Black Library and into actual miniature form. Long time coming, but here he is. Let's take a look at the lad because, well, frankly... Oh, also, Jurgen. He's also here. That's fun. And frankly, initial impression is... he doesn't quite match the artwork there. There is a disconnect between the two faces on display here. Quite a serious disconnect between the two faces, but I'm not entirely sure why. To my eye, at least, the overall outfit is pretty spot on. Yes, there are some differences in the amount of, what is it? Is it brocading or whatever it's called? All the stuff across the chest, the tunic there. There's not quite as much on the miniature as there is in the artwork. But then again, there's an awful lot of detail packed into a torso that is taller in that respect. And doing that much of that on the miniature, that'd probably lead to it looking a little bit messy, a bit cluttered. There might be a bit too much going on, and the amount of detail that would be sort of required to make it work could also end up making it look really messy. Like, really messy. So I can see why they've gone for just a slightly simpler approach there. The rest, though, looks really good. The chainsword looks fantastic. Although, again, there is this kind of thing where the artwork has got a chainsword that has got a double-sided thing going on, so it's not shielded on the back, whereas the miniature doesn't, which, again, interesting choice. Not really sure why they've gone that direction, but they have. To be fair to them, when it comes to the chainsword, it is a bit sort of... I don't know if inconsistent is the word. Some of his artwork shows that he does have the double-sided chainsword. Other bits of artwork shows that he only has a single-sided chainsword. So, I'd like pick your poison, I guess. I think for me, the confusing thing is using artwork showing one whilst posting a miniature that shows the other. That's the only thing that's like... really, guys? What are you doing? But other than that, it's kind of whatever. The hat, magnificent. Love the hat. Works super well. Looks great. Looks very faithful as well. Again, maybe the logo on it is a little bit... the symbol is a little bit more pronounced. It's a bit bigger. But this is just, I think, something that when you convert someone that has been drawn a lot into miniature form, the fact is, the miniatures don't have the same scaling as the artwork does. And that's true of God knows how many miniatures out there. So to pick them apart on it on this front too much feels a little bit unfair, especially when overall I think the figure itself is really good. I like the cloth on the big old coat there. That looks fantastic. Looks really nicely done. The overall stance, yes, we've got some tactical rock action, boosting the height a little bit. But if you can't have that for a legendary commissar with a bunch of books with his name on, I mean, who can you do that for if not him, right? I will say he overall just looks a bit chunkier than most of the artwork for him. Like, he's got a bit of width to him, he's got a bit of girth. He sort of has, I think it's just the sash, the belt around the midriff there, is making him look more portly than I think he has ever looked before. Like, he's definitely looking a bit... I can say this because I've got one. A bit dad bod, right? There's a little bit of that going on, whereas I would argue a lot of the time he cuts a bit more of a dashing figure overall. The biggest thing for me, though, is the face. I just don't think that face matches. I don't think it really looks like him. There's a good number of examples of how he looks across the years, and it's not quite there. You know what, the more I look at the face, though, the more I'm thinking, is it just the way they've painted him? Is it just that? Because he's got quite the chunk of a chin going on. So it might be, actually, that what they've done is they've sort of sold him short on the shading. Because, yeah, he's looking forward there, he's looking up in the artwork there. In fact, quite a bit of the artwork seems to have him looking up and to the right a bit. I wonder if maybe, if you were a bit more heavy-handed with the dark browns on the sideburns, if you actually went for that, like, stubble, that sort of 5 o'clock shadow on the chin and the upper lip, that may well bring him a lot closer. Because right now, he looks too light. Like, I don't know how else to put it. His skin is sort of... It's not as textured. It's not as dark as a lot of the artwork shows. So I wonder if that's where I'm getting caught up. Where it's actually... The face is not inaccurate. It's just that, as happens sometimes with these miniatures, the person painting it goes for a particular look that maybe doesn't fully match what we're used to seeing. Maybe that's what it is here. I think things like the position of the highlights on the chin is making a big difference. The fact that the chin is so much lighter. I think doing a compare and contrast between the two versions of him right there, there's something about it that isn't quite adding up, but I'm not actually convinced that that's down to the miniature itself. I think it's just been painted in such a way that it's not matching what I'm currently looking at, and that is causing what's the word? I can't think of the right word, but it's not quite getting there for me. But yeah, the more I look, the more I'm thinking maybe that's just a paint job thing. Jurgen looks fantastic. Isn't he like would this be, it's like the first Valhallan for God knows how long? Or like the first plastic one ever or something. Something like that. He's representing the lads well. I mean, he's got the big old coat. He's got the woolly hat. Looks fantastic. I know there's a specific name for it. I just can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. The collar is 10 out of 10. I do like just a plain, simple, unfussy, just melter. It's just melter. There's nothing spectacular. There's nothing overly decorative. It is just a standard, bog standard, I would argue, melter right there. And that's fun. That's nice. I like it. He's not a complicated model. There's not a vast amount of, like, fancy details and stuff. But he looks really, really good. I like the sort of up-armoured nature of the boots. Those look great. His face looks decent. He does have a bit of, like, a wild man of the woods thing going on, but I like it. We do have an alternate view as well, although it's mostly alternate of Jurgen. We've actually just got no real alternate view of Cain himself, which is a choice. With that slightly different angle, I am now convinced of my they should have painted the face differently idea. Like, that looks closer. That looks better from that angle. The lighting is a bit better, and it shows the contrasting colours off way better than the other angle. So yeah, I think that might be all it is, really. I love the backpack as well on Jurgen. That looks great. You got just all the stuff hanging off. You got your flask, you got your mug. It looks like a proper bit of actual, real life gear. Looks great. I do think actually that pose is really growing on me for Cain. I think it looks really good. I think it's very appropriate, and there's an air of superiority there, which is quite fun, to be honest. I definitely wasn't expecting to see Cain, especially not on a random Monday, but the fact is, he looks decent. I quite like the look of him overall. That is a solid miniature. Well, technically 2 solid miniatures. His mate is also pretty class, but the question is, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, and I'll see you for the next one.